Oh! Get out of here, boy! Oh, just go back for seconds. Get your ass. Oh! I hit him 3 times. Right after that sick ass combo.
Oh, dude. Oh, Joey.
Dude, I gotta save that as soon as I die.
Dude.
I have to do it now.
Dude.
Hey guys, it's your average Joe Demon Joe here. Welcome back once again to another video. How you guys doing? The other day came out with a video called Why Destiny 2 is So Bad Rant. And I did a little bit of clickbait in there. I'm sorry. Alright, I don't do clickbait, so I used my clickbait free pass for that video just to get attention so that people would listen to me. And a lot of people missed the point. The whole point of that video is that people should not be criticizing the game if they're not going to criticize it meaningfully, as in not saying the game is shit, I hate it, fix this, fix that. You know, they should at least be a little bit respectful and actually constructively criticize the game instead of being ass backwards and saying a bunch of dumb shit about it. But that was the whole point of the video. A lot of people missed it, or at least some people did, and they were like, you know, whatever, shit game, shit video, blah blah blah, it's whatever. You know, I'm not going to worry about it, but that was the point of the video. People missed it, thought I'd bring it up. But that was the last video, and I told you guys in that video that I would be making a video after that saying what I dislike in Destiny 2. Because in that video, despite the title and the thumbnail, I was defending it. In this video, I'm going to be breaking it down and criticizing the game myself. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the criticism. This is in no particular order, but I'm just going off the list that I made. For the first thing I have, no reputation levels. Reputation levels to me mean everything. The fact that I can track how many times I've leveled a faction up means something to me. It is just a number, but I like that. If you guys played during Destiny 1, you'd know that if you got to level 25 during the Taken King, you would get an exotic class item for whatever faction you leveled up to 25. And that was a great feature. The fact that you could level something up so ever many times and get a specific reward guaranteed is amazing. But something I did during Destiny 1 is I went a little above and beyond and decided that I would get Future War Cult level 100. And that actually had a lot of meaning to me, to actually have a character with the number 100 on their FWC tab. That actually meant something to me. And the fact that I can level up the EDZ, I can level up IO, Titan, Nessus, I can level up the Future War Cult, the Gunsmith, Crucible, Vanguard, all this stuff, and not see how many times I've done it or any meaning behind it, it's annoying, really. It's honestly really annoying, and I know that Bungie could easily fix this by just adding a freaking number into the game. And I know what you guys are gonna say, oh my god, you can check Destiny Item Manager, it'll tell you exactly. No, it needs to be in the game. Just like my next point, no lore tab in the menus. Why the hell is there not a lore tab? I know that you can go to certain weapons and armor and you can pull the left trigger and you can look at the lore behind it, but what about the scannables? Whenever you scan something, why can't you go into a tab and look at the lore behind that? A lot of the lore that the Ghost talks about when you scan an item in the game is very, very important and would be very useful for you to know if you're pretty much engulfed in the universe. So the fact that you can't access it anytime you want is absolutely redundant to the point of having it. Next on the list is that legendary shards are too plentiful. Why do I open my inventory and see that I have 700 legendary shards? I can go to Xur and buy his inventory over and over and over again for that same week at least 10 times. Well, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but I'm not sure. But it's very annoying that I can do that. Legendary shards are way too plentiful where there's only a few sources for you to actually use them. I mean, I use them as often as I can with infusion and buying stuff from Xur, yet I almost have 1,000 of them, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Why make a currency in the game that plentiful? It makes no sense to me, and they really do need to rework it, which they have mentioned on This Week at Bungie. Thank you, Bungie. Another thing on my list is that the mod system is more like the +5 system. If you don't know what I'm talking about, the only mods that matter are the ones that give you +5 power. Personally, I don't even look at what my mods do. I just put them on my armor and my weapons just because it says I get +5 power. It doesn't matter to me what it does because I don't notice it anyways. All I know is that it gives me to 305 and that's all I care about. The mod system's worthless. Bungie needs to completely rework it. Another thing that they've mentioned on This Week at Bungie that they are looking into. Another thing I'm very disappointed in is the fact that there's no faction ships, sparrows, or ghosts. Whenever they finally introduced the sparrows and the ghosts to Destiny 1, I was so happy, even though they didn't really look that great. Well, the Future War Cult ghost didn't look good. The sparrow I liked. But even though they introduced it so late into Destiny 1, it still got there. Now, I feel like that should have carried over to Destiny 2. Why can't I get a Future War Cult ship? Why can't I get a Future War Cult Sparrow? Why can't I get a Future War Cult Ghost when everybody was begging you for them in Destiny 1 and they're not in the game now and have no mention of them coming in the future? What's with that, Bungie? It's something I was really happy to get in D1 and it looks like I'm not going to get it for another really long time. I feel like I'm beating a dead horse with a stick whenever I say this, but competitive Crucible is useless with no competitive Crucible ranking. I mean, this has been talked about for so long. Here's a piece of concept art up on the screen. I mean, you guys, I might be making a video about this like its own little thing later on, I'm not sure, but here is a concept that somebody made showing off what it could look like in the game. And personally, I don't think it looks bad. I think that they could just slap this into Destiny 2 and people would be happy, including myself. Why is there no competitive ranking system? I don't know, but Trials of Osiris isn't going to cut it for the competitive community. You just got to do it, man. Throw it in the game, Bungie. We're hoping that you do. If you guys have watched my channel for a long time, you'll know that I didn't like PvP for the longest of times in Destiny 1. Absolutely despised it. So all I did was play PvE. So why are strikes useless in Destiny 2? Because there's no strike specific loot. For one, there's no strike specific loot, but for two, look at how many tokens you get for playing strikes. You don't get shit. You get absolutely jack crap. There's no items that you can use to open up chests for strike specific loot. There's not a good amount of tokens that you get at the end of a strike to actually warrant playing it. And there's nothing like getting exotic engrams, like an increased chance, like 3 of coins. There's none of that in the game that's going to help you basically want to do strikes. Now, I don't want 3 of coins back. I really don't. But skeleton keys? Yes, I do want skeleton keys because those horde chests were the whole reason I like to play strikes a lot in Destiny Year 3, and I don't know why they just decided to, boop, they never existed, goodbye, we're going to give you these crappy tokens. I love the token system, but whenever I do a 30-minute strike and barely get any at all, it's a problem. So, next up, Amanda Holiday, you're useless. Nothing to do. Amanda Holiday, all she does is sell green ships, green sparrows that never change and always will be there forever until Bungie decides to change it. Remember in Destiny 1 whenever Amanda Holiday would have a wide variety of ships? Like, I swear, she had like 100 of them. It was crazy. And she would sell these certain ships that she wouldn't have sold in like 30 months. Like, freaking 50,000 years she wouldn't have sold this ship. And whenever she sold it, everybody made a huge deal about it. Like, oh my god, buy this ship. Collectors, get out here. You know, I feel like we kinda need a little something like that. Speaking of collecting, there is no shader kiosk, there's no ship kiosk, there's no sparrow kiosk, and there's no ghost kiosk. I feel like there should be a ghost kiosk with how many ghosts are in the game. Let's be real here. But seriously, no shaders, no ship, no ghost, no sparrow kiosks? What? There's so many in the game! And a shader kiosk would really help me when making my armor set showcase videos. It'd be fantastic to not have to wait for another faction rally to go get the Dead Orbit New Monarchy shaders. I could at least preview them. Hello? Bungo? The ships? There's freaking so many ships. Sparrows? Yes, there's a bunch of those too. And ghosts. They're everywhere. Why can't we collect them? Seriously, man. Kiosks. We need you. It was a great idea that you introduced in Destiny 1, but it doesn't exist in Destiny 2. Come on, guys. Also, the farm is useless. The farm is more useless than the reef. At least with the reef, you had to go there to start Trials of Osiris. With the farm, what do you go to do there? Oh yeah, Tyra Karn, how you doing? You're there for that one quest. That's about it. That's about it. The farm serves no purpose. No purpose at all. Personally, I thought the farm was going to be very useful until the whole, twist with the tower being the actual social space. It's pretty ridiculous how the farm has become the most useless place in the game to where I visited the least out of anywhere in the entire game. It's just awful. And lastly on my list, duplicate legendary weapons have no purpose other than shards. This is a problem. This is something Bungie has talked about. How can I make my second, third, or 10th better devils better than my first? Or more significant, or significant in general? You really need to fix that as well. I am a very huge lover of the fixed rolls. I love the fact that rolls don't change because it introduces great balance and each gun feels like it's that gun. You don't just get a crappy roll for a good gun and that good gun just all of a sudden isn't a good gun, but then this crappy gun can be a really good gun if you got these rolls, but this good gun is only good if you got these good rolls and it's bad if you got those rolls, and it's just... I like fixed rolls, but you guys really need to figure out a system to make duplicate weapons actually useful. That's my list. That's my list. I'm gonna have a full little list here on the screen for you guys to look at. That's just too long, didn't read right there. That is my criticism for Destiny 2. I'm sure there is a lot that I missed, and if you guys want to, feel free to put it in the comments down below, and we'll figure it out. We'll figure out all the types of stuff that we can, put together for a good criticism on this game. But for me personally, that's the stuff that bothers me, and I'm not sure about you guys, but I mean, that's a pretty decent list. And I wouldn't say that I think Destiny 2 is perfect in the least like some of you would like to say. This game is very flawed, it has a lot of problems, but it has a lot of room for improvement, and I think that Bungie is eventually going to get around to most, if not all, of these issues. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you did like it. If you did not, subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys next time.